Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing out there in internet land? It's been a minute for us. Glad to have you guys with us. And I definitely have my intro script open. That's a thing that I used my time for during stream prep.
I mean, listen, it's been a minute. And we're all just rolling soft back into it. It's gonna be we're gonna have to build some momentum. The chat's with us. They're like, you are live. Oh my god.
You are with us, right?
You are with us, chat? Right, chat?
You'd never betray us, would you, chat?
You wouldn't abandon us, right? Especially not knowing the way Julian treats old men and bags of soup.
Only if they deserve it.
Bags of soup.
So the bags of soup.
No one deserves a bag of soup.
The old men and the bags of soup, if they deserve it.
It's good. That's good, chat. I knew we were on the same page. Anyway, we're live from the apocalypse, where we play tabletop role-playing games to benefit nonprofits, aid organizations, and other charitable causes. We just ask that if you like what you see here, rather than subscribing or giving us any sort of the normal Amazon, Twitch company script, that you take that money and you donate it directly to the organizations that we are fundraising for. This stream is currently raising money for the International Rescue Committee, which helps people affected by humanitarian crises. Founded at the call of Albert Einstein in 1933, the IRC is now at work in over 40 crisis-affected countries, as well as communities across Europe and the Americas. So, if at any point you would like to donate, you can type !donate in the chat. Our bot will post the link, and everyone's favorite, you can make the McElroy brothers yell at us in the middle of whatever important thing we were doing at that moment. We also have an assortment of channel points you could use to unlock emotes without subscribing, as well as to interact with and influence the stream in other ways. And I think that is all of our housekeeping. So without further ado, let's get into introductions. Introductions before terrorism. We're just going left to right here across the bottom of the screen. Will, you want to start us out?
Yes, I would love to. Hello, my name is Will. I am one of the GMs and the organizers here live from the apocalypse. Most of everything that I do is under this umbrella. I do very little outside of Live from the Apocalypse that is of note. So if you want to keep up with any of that or see the other games that we do, you can just follow the channel here or follow us on Twitter or any of the other socials or all of that good stuff. And you'll probably see me in something. I run Class Reunion, which is our 5e homebrew about 4 high school students from Ohio who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. I edit and run Academy H, our Masks actual play podcast. I'm in Dead in the Water, which is our current Monster of the Week Wildcard Wednesday game. And I think that is it for the moment. Also, in this game, I play Julian Rue, ex-Team Rocket member turned chef. And I made decisions and said things at the end of the last episode, and now my blood is not hot, and I am questioning them, to be honest. Me, Will, the person, not Julian. Anyway, that's it for me.
Me, the one behind the wheel.
I was very upset at the end of last session, and I am less upset now, and that makes this very difficult.
I'm going to draw a correlation between your upset and like how like much you do like for the channel, because you just listed off for like a minute of things you do for us. But I am going to just assure everyone we're slowly like dispersing some of those things so Will doesn't die.
That is true. Also, I sleep, contrary to popular belief.
That's that. Why are you lying to yourself as well as us?
I sleep. Any amount of sleep is sleeping. Heather, it's your turn.
Hi, I am Heather, and you might know me as Bright or Brightwit. I am typically doing our TikTok and as well as my own. But right now we're on an unscheduled and unannounced hiatus because I went I just dived into a hyperfixation on building a tutor gown because I also cosplay and do costuming. So yeah, that has been my life for a minute. I'll probably get back on TikTok and continue playing Estelle East, as well as I think I am going to be in one of our upcoming Wildcard Wednesdays, which will be fun. I'll get to play somebody else other than Chaos Granny.
And I am Moral. I play Billy Baker. And other than this, I designed my own Pokemon TTRPG, which is not the system we're using in this. It's called Pokemon Tales. We are doing the third and final stream, Wildcard Wednesday, of that, called Maple League tomorrow. If you want to find out about that or anything else I do, I'm Iron Echo Games on Twitter, and I'm Iron Echo Games on itch.io. And that's about it for me.
Pokemon Tales is good. I forgot to talk about Pokemon Tales. I'm in Maple League also. And so is Justin, who is no fan pod in the chat. Hi, Justin. Welcome.
Hi, Justin.
Oh, these Canadians.
I mean, it's Pokemon Canada, which is just that extra level of wholesome and polite that I feel like goes too far.
It's unacceptable.
It's too far.
Technically, Maple League is now only 50% Canadian, so if that was holding you back for some reason, now's your chance.
Who's is it like? Did we throw in some USA like weird flag bombs or something? What? I missed last session. What happened?
Our dear friend Kev was too busy and could not do the game anymore. But we will get them into something else in the future.
No fan podcast is doubling down. They have informed us.
Yeah, don't worry. It did not get any less Canadian.
Yeah, got more Canadian.
So far away from Pokemon Canada, and in the infinitely, definitely better Meldarva region.
Yes.
in the Pokemon Eastern Shore region.
I feel like this is Maine. It's got that old weird, like where you've got just that cross between like really old fancy families and then just like the Hick Hill families, and sometimes the twain shall meet.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, what is Maine if not the Texas of Canada? And then I thought about it and I was like, no, that's straight up New Hampshire, isn't it?
That's New Hampshire, yeah. Sorry, New Hampshire. I apologize. No.
They know what they are. They're proud.
Pokemon.
They know what they did.
They know what they did. I mean, we're Maryland. Do we have room to talk?
I spent a decent amount of time in both, and yes.
We know we did.
Actually, I spent a decent amount of time in all three. And yes, of the three, I would pick Maryland personally.
You're the expert.
Maryland wins.
That's fair.
We did something, guys.
So, speaking of,
are we doing a terrorism this time? Because we should probably warn people.
that is more or less kind of where we left off. There was Julian was talking Spice Rack about some plans, things that he may or may not do to Team Rocket after a rather tense conversation with his sister.
Just angry cooking in the kitchen. Like we come out and there's like a 5-course buffet, and like you've been cooking all night, just cooking away the rage.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think Julian doesn't even cook, and I think that's what's so
distressing,
startling. That's what's so distressing about it, is like any other time you've seen Julian pissed off or like sad or like anything really, that's what he always does. He just kind of automatically goes and cooks, and this time he is just not doing that at all.
Estelle just like makes some eggs the wrong way, trying to like goad you into like an outlet. Oh no, I'll just have to trash those.
And I think Julian, like, I think the really distressing part of it is that he is like going along with it. Like he's, trading the banter and like laughing, but it's very empty and it's very hollow. And like, it's very clear that he is, his mind is elsewhere, even though he is acting like nothing is is wrong.
So what time is it right now? Is it like early morning and or like, are we all just sitting around the table together?
Julian would try to remove himself. I think Julian would probably actually be outside. I think it was fairly early, wasn't it? Because I said that I would be back in like...
We could go with that. That sounds like
Okay.
a thing that works in Pokemon time.
I remember we got like attacked and Billy was like, I need you to sign our register because of the Pokemon. Other than that,
I forgot we had a whole run-in with criminals and the police last session. To be honest, I kind of flaked on that. The threats and terrorism
does this count as a win for the gym?
it does count as official win. I don't know. Does it count as an official win? They didn't pay their entry fee.
As long as we get their first and last name from the police once they're arrested and log it in the register, I think it's a win.
Gonna put it up on the board.
Julian's just sitting there like, yeah, that's important. A win for the gym. And we're just like watching your dead eyes going, how do we do? Okay. So I think Estelle's...
Sorry, Julian, I think is going to be outside on the farm, maybe like a little bit away from the house, like up on one of the grazing hills, and just kind of looking out like an extremely anime individual. Hands in pockets, you know what I'm talking about.
I think Estelle waves away Mr. Mime, who has taken over cooking because Mr. Mime's upset with me trying to goad you into doing things by ruining eggs. And I waddle my way up the hill and settle down there, and I'm like, whew. Well, Julian, we all had a very rough night last night, but you haven't told us what happened. And anyone can see how upset you are.
I'm not upset. I knew this was coming. From the moment I stepped foot back into that game corner, I knew that this was what was going to happen. That she was going to find some way to manipulate me to try to get me to come back.
And is that what she did?
Of course it is.
Julian, you went there asking for her help. Emotional damage. Yes, this is correct. You went there asking for her help. And she said no. Or that she would need you to do something for her, right? That's the gist of what you've told us. I don't really know the details, but, you know, your sister is dealing with quite a lot, and so are you right now. And I don't want you to push her away or have her push you away, because the only way you can accept each other is on your terms. You have to reach towards the middle, sir. And if she can't help you or us with this right now, that's all right. She helped us before, and she didn't ask for anything. And maybe there's a limit to her help without something in return, and that's okay. Most people have their own needs. And I don't agree with what your sister does, and I don't think you do either. But if you want a relationship with her, That means accepting that this is where she's at.
If she had said no, I would have understood. I would have gotten it. I mean, what we're doing here, everything that's happening is it's insane. And we might die doing it. And I get that. I understand that. But it wasn't really about I wasn't really asking her for the champion balls. I was asking her to leave Team Rocket.
And don't you think that's a little bit of a big ask after just a few days? Julian, here's what I see. You asked her to go, and she asked you for something that would try to make you stay. And it's because both of you are very afraid of losing each other. The same decisions that have kept you apart these years. Your sister is on this path. And I know you want her off of it. But that's not really your decision to make. Your decision is whether or not you choose to love her, have her in your life, and keep your peace about the work she does, or whether or not this becomes the thing that becomes between you. But you're both afraid.
It shouldn't be a big ask, though.
To give up everything she's worked for her whole life shouldn't be a big ask. You
Look,
come into her life after a few days in which you've abandoned her, and you both feel abandoned. You know that. And a few days after she helps you, you come in, you ask her for something more, and what she wants is to know that tomorrow you're going to be there. And what you want is to know that tomorrow she's going to be there. So you ask her to give up the thing that you feel is keeping you two apart. But it's her whole life, and it's all she's had when you were gone.
That's not what she wanted.
Julian,
Okay,
your sister. Go ahead.
If she wanted me to stay or join back up or anything like that, then I would have at least understood what she was asking for. She would have at least wanted us to be some kind of family again, but that's not what she asked. She said she wanted me to do one last cage match so that she could sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, she wanted you to convince Billy to
do it. Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Okay, no, true. Sorry, it's been a month. Rewind.
Technically, what she asked you to do was worse.
Worse.
Yes. Far worse, which is why I want to back up, not just play it off. No, okay, so Julian, hell, if she had asked me to fight again, I would have thought about it. But she wanted Billy.
Mm.
And I am not going to let them do that to somebody else. Not another kid, not the way that they did to so many others.
And that's a fair line to have. Listen, Julian. You don't like who your sister's becoming. And I understand why you want her to stop. But sometimes what we want of people isn't what they can give. Sometimes we want things that are more than they're capable of. Your sister's entire focus is on consolidating her own power here. And the thing that would do that is to get her brother back and to get the gym to be disgraced. Because then all she has to do is contend with Silphco. And Silphco, they speak the same language. I'm sorry she asked that of you. And I'm sorry that, well, that nobody was there to protect you the way that you were willing to protect Billy. But I do want you to think. And maybe wait until you're calm. Make a decision then about what you want to do about it. Because you're allowed to be angry and you're allowed to be hurt, but what you do with it does matter. And we are all so proud of everything you've built for yourself over these last years. And the thing I don't want is for you to let that anger at your sister tear it all down for her.
I think it was always going to end this way. And I think everything that has happened has only led me to this point. It was nice while it lasted. But that's the thing, Estelle. I am calm.
Oh, I can tell the way you let me burn those pancakes. That just says I am a chill little penguin. Not penguin. What is it called? The little Pokemon thing?
Delibird?
I don't know. Just
yeah.
I was gonna say if you just like slur one of the syllables, that's probably a Pokemon.
That's probably a Pokemon.
It's not one now. It will.
Pernwinen. There we go. Yeah, that'll be Pokemon someday.
That's definitely a Pokemon. Piplup is a good one. That's a good reach.
Either way. Well, Billy's going to have to go give his statement today. And we should probably figure out who engineered that. I'm going to say Silphco, but just in case. And you, well, all we have is our choices, and our actions and our reactions are the only choices we get. What your sister did wasn't right, but if I squint, I can see her in it, because the only thing she really understands is being the only option. I think she thinks that's the only way anyone would ever choose her. Because that's how she's handled business all these years. And I think that's the way she's handling you now. Doesn't excuse it. Don't burn down everything you've created here. Just to spite her. There is no destiny. There's just what we choose.
I gave her an option. I said that I would be back, and she could leave with me, or I could tear that fucking game corner apart.
Mm-hmm. But you've left her before. You've left her before, and you have other options. And she's afraid of making you her only option, because that's what that would do. Somebody who's already left her, who already said no and walked away, who already built a life that doesn't include her. There's a reason she's taking shots at all of that. Listen, Julian, I'm not here to talk for your sister, because while she helped me out in the past, there are some deeply wrong things I've seen her do over the years. But all your anger about that, don't let it destroy everything you have now. Or at least think about where it comes from, because I think you're just as angry at her that she's abandoned you. Stop saying true things, lady. How dare you make me think about my feelings? Listen, Estelle's gonna die probably at some point, so I gotta pass on the wisdom. Yeah. No, Estelle's really close. She's late 80s. I ran. I've been having battles. I got a weird stroke from a missing number.
Look, it is too late for any of that, Estelle. You should take Billy. But I'm going back to that game corner. And I'm not leaving without those balls.
Julian. And she just reaches up and whacks you across the back of the head and goes, "What on earth would make you think we would leave you alone? After all we've been through. Honestly." And she just stomps away to go get Billy.
You could see Billy. I imagine during this whole conversation that Estelle is the dedicated meddler, and Billy knows that Julian does not want anything right now, so he's just been doing farm chores mornings. He's just been outside and around. You can see him in the distance, not close enough to where he would be listening in
the background. You're
just in the area.
You're in the background or doing stuff. Things and every once in a while stopping. Every once in a while stopping and staring okay, I'm just gonna keep going. I like it. So you're gonna destroy this game corner, huh?
I mean, yeah. Shut up.
5 minutes before stream, guys, I think I threatened to do a terrorism, and I am dubious now of whether I should. During stream, yeah, no, fuck, no, I'm doing it.
Yeah, shut up.
You know. Oh gosh. Okay, so okay.
that was so drawn out.
You know, I have an idea, but then I was like, do I want to use that
All right,
now?
I know that like this, this wholesome Pokemon stream occasionally veers into Eldritch horror, but I wasn't expecting for Estelle to go like full Sadako.
Okay, so here's what we're doing. On the way, I need to make a stop. Other than that, I care not. Whatever you would like to do, Julian, in your quest for vengeance? Question mark.
I mean, someone has to tell Billy something.
Julian has chosen to cause problems on purpose.
It's just the remnants of her stroke. It is actually the remnants of my stroke and the remnants of my Adderall just wearing off slowly as I stare into the void. All right. So I will take the moment and I'll pull Billy aside and be like, so we might have to stop Julian from well, the only way I can put it is murdering his sister. No, I don't think he would go that far. Maybe I mean, so yes. So the important facts you need to know are Julian's sister wanted you to fight an illegal cage match, and Julian is very angry because he was forced to fight those himself as a child, and is upset that she is continuing the tradition and trying to involve you, his dear friend.
I mean,
so Julian. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I forget there's a lag.
A little bit. I mean, if me doing this match would stop Julian from having to hurt his sister, I mean, it's just one match.
No, you fools! You fools! You told Billy and I was going to try and do it.
Billy, I don't think you understand. These matches hurt Pokemon very badly, and sometimes Pokemon die in them. And what she's trying to do is to ruin the reputation of the gym and yourself and get our gym shut down.
I mean, I understand, and I'm not saying we have to do it her way necessarily, but if the gym is going to grow and these matches are as bad as you say they are, they have to stop at some point anyway. Maybe there's some way we accomplish that in the same sense. Maybe we make this a more serious challenge.
Oh, now there's a thought. You know, there's a thought. Why don't we go to the Jennies? Well, yes. What if? Oh, what do they call it? Undercover? Is that? They do it on those TV dramas where they wear the things under their shirt and you talk into it. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, not me. We shouldn't put it on me at all. But I mean, I'm sure that if we found out when the match was, we could have them set up a raid. I mean, around in Mr. Mime.
If agreeing to the match gets us,
he would be helpful.
If agreeing to the match gets us what we need, and even better, we can get this out of the town, maybe that's the best option.
Let's talk to Julian and the professor, and we'll see if we can't come up with an idea. Julian should know whether or not it's safe to talk to. I'm sure there's an investigative team somewhere. Seems like something, right? And then instead, capitalism. Yeah, like, I don't know. when Julian comes back down the hill, we can always propose the idea to him and see what he says. Hi, puppy. What are you doing?
So I guess the question is like, does Julian come back down the hill, or does Julian use the opportunity to slip off and try and go Ted Kaczynski on the game corner right then?
Haunter's sitting in your engine.
That is the question. That you think that would stop me?
Oh no, but Haunter can just mess with your electronics in the engine, and then the engine doesn't start.
Interesting.
Altering those geists.
I do think, I guess whether or not this is successful or not is up to some debate, but Julian, I think, would try to leave before, like, while this conversation is taking place. I think he would absolutely be like, yes, go get Billy, and then would take that occasion to try to slip off.
From behind you, like as you step into the truck to try to go, like, actually, let's roll for this. What could I roll for this?
So I would say probably, since you sort of established, and I think it does make sense that you would post up Haunter.
Not just Haunter, but Mr. Mime, because like in the rearview mirror, holding the keys is Mr. Mime just jingling.
I am gonna say no on Mr. Mime, just because we give Mr. Mime a lot of leeway. Be in places you shouldn't be. You mentioned Haunter first, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna give Haunter the opportunity to stop the engine. So choose an applicable move if you have one, or just a d6 and roll that flat.
1 second. Let's do. I don't know why Roll20 is taking so long to like upload, but it is today. You said 1d6?
Yes, unless there is an applicable move with a higher die type.
I don't believe there is on Haunter. But can I? So I'm not adding anything to this because Estelle technically is inside, right?
Right. Yeah. This would just be Haunter rolling for mischief.
Gotcha.
Rolling for supernatural chicanery.
Chicaneries? The chicaneries of trees? Okay, hold on. Boop. All right. Boop. Let's see. Oh, it's a 2.
So, yeah, at this point, so Julian, you go to the truck and you turn the key a few times, and it takes a bit of time for it to turn over, and the engine sounds real funny. Engine sounds real funny, sounds real rough, but you are able to drive off if you want.
Should I use Sludge Bomb?
Haunter abides by Dresden Files rules, where the older the technology, the less he can mess it up. Very old. I
just for some reason see it. Yeah, the truck's driving off, and like the puffs of exhaust are like Haunter colored, and one of them like has Haunter's face. It kind of floats out and reconstitutes.
Extremely appropriate.
And Haunter just sees Estelle standing on the porch, and Haunter is covered in soot.
And he like licks his face, and it's all gone. Yep. So I think Estelle is actually going to walk back inside calmly, and call the bank. And then, because she knows the account number, because she's used it before, she's going to arrange a wire transfer. And then she's going to call back. She's going to, like, once that's done, I'm assuming it takes more than 10 minutes to, like, get to the game corner from the farm, because it took us, like, half an hour or more to get out of there, right?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess so walk me through your elaborate
My plan.
So
what Estella's gonna do?
I was not expecting the term wire transfer to come up this game. So all right,
yeah, so
I'm listening.
What Estella's done is arrange a wire transfer for later today.
Okay.
And she is then going to call Julian's sister.
Okay. All right.
Let me know if you want to act that one out, or I can just tell you what we're doing.
Sure. All right. Cool. You initially get some pushback. Trying to get a hold, just because like Julian's sister's number isn't listed. But you know some people you can call who could probably put you in touch with her.
I could just call the game corner and just be like, tell so and so it's Estelle East, and that I want to speak to her. I'll wait.
Yes, eventually you can put the name in enough ears that finally, yes, you hear just from the other end. What do you want?
Julian is on his way to you. You and I both know those Master Balls are defective, and any Pokemon you put in them is not going to become a useful Pokemon. So what I'm offering to do right now, what's a large amount of money? Because like I know that Estelle just got an insurance.
A bike costs 1 million yen.
So like basically
for money.
I'm going to transfer to you everything, every penny currently in my account, and you're going to give Julian every Master Ball that you have. And in return, you're going to get to keep your brother.
Miss East, I even if everything that you have was enough I
mean, you remember my last name, right? Like my maiden name, you remember that?
Yes, I know your family, Miss East.
I'm sorry, did you imagine it was my husband paying for everything when he was running the gym?
Yes. Yes, Miss East. You'll have to excuse me. The voice inside my head that tells me what to say is buffering.
Because I just offered to drop a fortune so that Julian wouldn't have to have a final showdown with his sister.
The thing is,
Estelle doesn't really care about her. She cares about Julian.
And the thing is, Miss East, yes, I know that you have a great deal of money. And if you had offered to buy them off me before my brother demanded that I set my entire life on fire, if you'd offered to buy them from me before my brother delivered me an ultimatum, I might have considered it. If you had offered to buy them off me and hadn't ended that sentence with you telling me whether I get to keep my brother, as though that's something that you have any right to or control over.
Dear, I'm telling you that he's going to burn both your lives down. And that this is the chance to actually save face and heal things. And if you don't want me to put my hand out and help you, then I can go the other way.
She's literally laughing over the phone.
That's fine.
You know,
but a chef threatened you, and if that is enough for you to like to decide to turn away a fortune, well then I think maybe you should re-examine what your priorities are as the head of this organization. I'm offering you a fortune or some master balls and the chance to continue a good relationship with your brother. And I'm doing it not to threaten you. I'm doing it because Julian feels that this is the only way. And I don't want to see him hurt. And I don't think you really do either.
And here I thought you Aspers were supposed to be psychic or something. You know what, Miss East? Miss widow of the gym leader, Miss daughter of the family whose name is on half the shit in this town. You can keep your money. I don't want it. I'm going to do this my way. And you're all going to regret it. And
well,
she hangs up.
Plan B it is. And Estelle instead cancels the transfer and then calls her sister. And I think we're going to go with damage control. So I'm going to let you guys play out your scene.
Cool.
And then we'll figure out what Estelle is doing as she like gets the, oh, this is what the fuck is happening.
All right, cool. So I guess we'll just cut to, yes, go ahead.
Estelle just went inside. Billy is chasing after a truck on a goat.
Oh no!
Goat is big enough to ride.
Yes.
All right. Yep. You know, hey, that is
the party again. Let's do it.
That's legitimate. Cool. Give me a fitness plus any relevant move to keep up with the truck.
Okay. Is it sunny outside?
Yes.
Or at least the sun is out? Okay. Then I'm going to argue synthesis.
Yeah.
Because he gets energy from the sun. And fitness, so a D8 and a D6. That is a 9 total.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you are not really closing distance with the truck, but you're able to keep up with it. So you're able to follow the truck into town, and you are able to catch up to Julian as Julian is. Well, Julian, tell us where you're going.
Julian is going to drive to the game corner, but maintain a certain amount of distance. So he's going to park, and he's basically going to case it, even though he is angry and very much in his feelings about everything. And has pretty much made up his mind about what he's going to do. He still knows that he can't take on the entire game corner by himself. So he is watching, seeing if there is movement, people coming in, people going, and basically just figuring out what his move is going to be.
Okay. And I think it's around that time that you are pondering that, looking at the entrance. It looks fairly dead. Like it's still daylight out, like and like generally speaking, frankly, even during the daytime, there would be an unsettling number of people trying their luck at the game corner, but it's looking pretty desolate right now. Pretty slow. And it's around that time that Billy pops up behind you.
Billy comes riding up on Go-Go and then just hopped off, very like a little winded because he's been chasing a truck on a goat. Julian, I'm glad I caught you. You can't do this. You can't go blow up the game. Whatever you're gonna do. Estelle wasn't very detailed, but you can't do that.
Julian is gonna get out of the truck and immediately try to like grab Billy by like the back of the neck and just like force him down a little bit so that they are not standing out in plain sight. And he's gonna say, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to be here either. This is not the best way to solve it. You can't go ruin everything. Your sister and you are starting to fix things. And also you can't, like, I don't know, kill someone or burn down a building. Again, Estelle was not very clear, but it sounded bad.
Look, Billy, I know you mean well, but this isn't the way this is going to play out the way things do in your head. All right, there's no coming back from this for the two of us. There's no reconciliation, there's no family. Billy, this is all that's left.
So we
It
have
has
to
been
burn it
for a
down.
long time.
I mean,
They're not family, we murdered them.
My mom probably would have said the same thing about my grandpa, and they're making progress. They didn't talk for how many years? I didn't know he was alive and over there. And now that's going in the right direction. There's always possibilities.
Your grandfather didn't try to turn you into entertainment. Didn't try to capitalize on the pain of living creatures. Didn't It is different, Billy.
Fine. But even if your sister's gone or not redeemable or whatever you believe she is, it doesn't mean that you should ruin your life. You don't walk away from this solving it this way. There's other ways to solve this.
Yeah, except it's not just her, Billy. She's not the one who's irredeemable. Okay? And I know you don't see that. You're not the sharpest tool in the shed. Now you have this idea of everybody and how they are good and you can change them and they all want to be your friend deep, deep down. And that's not true, Billy.
Well, first of all, the sharpest tool in the shed is a hatchet. So yes, I am not a hatchet. Second of all, I have not seen. I mean, you can say that all you want, but I haven't seen any evidence to contradict my worldview so far. We have managed to win over people for the most part so far. Your sister was heading in the right direction, and you are not her anyway. You already walked away. You want to tell me you're not redeemable? Follow your Pokemon. Look at the most recent one to join you. I don't know the whole story, but I can tell from the way you reacted to it that there's something more there. And if that Pokemon is willing to have faith in you, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't anyone else?
Billy, you don't understand. If you say you haven't seen anything to contradict your worldview, but I don't want to be your friend, Billy. I never have.
You just straight burn your life down.
I felt like I owed something to the gym because of what I did, and that was stupid of me. That was a waste of time.
I mean, you don't have to be my friend, Julian. I don't have very many of those, to be honest, besides my Pokemon anyway. But it doesn't change the fact that you're a good person and that you shouldn't burn your life down for this.
Yeah, I mean, there you go again, making speeches and trying to tell people what they should do, who they should be. You know, they all just feel bad for you, right? That's why everybody goes along with these things you say. Everybody pretends like you got through to them or you said something meaningful. It's because they pity you. I mean, that's why I did it. That's why Estelle does it. That's why
You don't speak for me.
you're not there.
I know.
You let me ruin everything.
Stop all yelling, Billy, all right? Stop throwing rocks at the dog so he runs away. It's not fine to do to people or dogs.
Casey, I don't want you anymore.
I don't want you to be here anymore. You have to go away. All right.
Julian, people have said the same thing about my dad his whole life. I hear it all the time. The same thing. He's an idiot. His head's in the clouds. He doesn't know what he's doing. And you know what? My dad's the only person in this whole damn town who seems pretty happy. So maybe it is pity, maybe it's a lot of other reasons. But you know what? I'm not about to go destroy my only relationship with my family and burn down my life because I'm too scared to feel things. So maybe you should try and think of things a little bit from my perspective, because your Pokemon are willing to have faith in you, Estelle's willing to have faith in you, and I'm willing to have faith in you. And if you're really as bad of a person as you claim to pretend you are, I'd be in that arena fighting for my Pokemon's life right now, instead of you here to burn this place to the ground just to protect me from that. Unless you have a secret malicious explanation you can paint onto yourself to explain that one.
I think by this point, Julian is just gonna fall back on old habits, and he really only sees one avenue left to him. So I think as Billy keeps talking, Julian is just sort of like getting tenser and tenser, and by the end of your little speech, I think he's just gonna grab Billy by like the front of his shirt and like sort of throw him up against the side of the truck, just kind of like shove him back against the side of the truck, and is just gonna say, just stop talking. Stop pretending that you know anything about me or my family or any of this. Just go.
No. Not going anywhere.
Julian is gonna, like, if Billy has not stood up by this point, Julian's gonna pick him up in much the same way and kind of pull a fist back and is gonna say, "I'm not gonna tell you again, walk away."
I mean, you can hit me if you want, Julian. I can take a punch. I grew up on a farm. You're not going to do anything that's going to convince me to walk away.
I'm gonna raise questions about Billy's parenting, but go on.
I'm going to say, hey, man, you ever been kicked by a Mudsdale?
No, that is fair. That is fair.
I think aren't Mudsdales like technically the heaviest Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Like inexplicably
Heavier than an Onyx.
All I can think of is like cows and certain things that just like straight up headbutt in order to get you in the bottle.
A cow. People act stupid around cows, and then cows fuck them up.
Not just cows. People act stupid around like a lot of animals. I saw a video of a guy chasing a. Never mind.
I've been listening to an entire podcast about that recently, but that's neither here nor there.
Respect the wildlife. That's the message of this episode in particular. And cows are still wildlife. Domesticity is a thin line.
Julian, I think at that point, his raised fist is gonna waver a little bit, and he's gonna what is wrong with you?
Just
why would you stay? Why would you?
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you for the donation.
Thank you, Andrew. That was well timed.
And Drew, if you're whoever that is, if you're here,
and Daru,
and Daru, thank you.
Underoos, yes. Okay, cool. We got there.
Well, now we're just bullying.
I really hope this is the Andrew we know and not some random Andrew who turned in, because that's the only reason we're doing this.
That would be awful.
If so, I'm so sorry. We're just we would only bully our friend, I promise.
It's true. Apologies to this hypothetical Andrew. What is wrong with you that you would just stand here and take this and let me hit you? And he, I think at that point, drops the fist, the obvious pretense that he was ever going to hit Billy entirely, and looks a little deflated, looks a little incredulous, and yeah.
I just know that this isn't the right path for you. And that's worth taking a few hits for.
And I think Julian turns slightly, just kind of leans against the truck, kind of falls back against it more than anything, and like sinks down. Imagine, like, without him holding up, Billy's probably kind of on the ground as well, and Julian just sort of sinks down to be on the same level, and he looks straight ahead, and he's got his hands resting on his knees, and he says, I can't. I can't walk away from this. Billy, I thought that if she wanted to be a family again so bad, she'd leave this behind. And instead, when the time came, she just doubled down, and she proved that she was exactly like everyone else that raised us.
I can't tell you if she is redeemable or, you know, if you can make a difference. That's your decision to make. It's your family. But if we're gonna face this head on, if you can't walk away from this, there's other ways we can deal with this that you don't have to do by yourself. That frankly, have less likelihood of potentially getting you hurt or killed. We could try and get the Games Corner shut down.
You think nobody's ever tried that before? There's only one way. Do you stop Team Rocket? There's only one thing they understand. I know that because there's only one thing I understand, and that's thanks to them.
Well, if there's only one thing they understand, I assume that's battling or something along those lines. Maybe we give them the battle that Sister so badly wants, but we put some other conditions on it. Some conditions we're comfortable with, and that gets us what we want.
Billy, you don't know what it's like in there. I mean, they're gonna put you in a cage, and you're gonna watch your Pokemon rip apart another completely starved and feral and he stops for like 10 seconds. And you're not going to have a choice. Because the alternative is you watch it rip your Pokemon apart. You can't come back from that, Billy. No matter how hard you try.
What? I mean, your sister wants the battle. What if we just set different terms to it? What if she was involved? What if it's a battle for a more serious consequence? Maybe something like if I win, they shut down the Games Corner. If she wins, one beat just by me participating, she gets the battle she wants. But she pushes for something else. I don't know. I guess I could step away from the gym. She seems to want that, but there's got to be a way to do this that doesn't involve all this escalation.
I don't know that you could win, Billy. She's like me. She was raised on this.
Well, you may not, but I do, because I need to.
I don't think she's gonna go for it.
Can't hurt to ask.
We try it. Fine. We try it your way. But if that doesn't work, we do it mine.
Fine. But then we're gonna do it your way. Together.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. And then we make a plan that we will reveal when the time is right.
Right. We should actually do a break because I have doggos that need to go out.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds like an excellent point to take a little 10-minute break.
Hell yeah.
Except not that
All right,
not
we
that
will be
I've had
back.
not that I've had to do anything for
I
the
know,
first 90 minutes of this
probably-
game.
It's basically
probably
been
exhausted.
therapy / Pokemon.
All right, we'll be back
yeah.
in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, and we will see you soon.
And we are back. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going to turn out great.
Power of friendship.
Yeah. It's gonna get spicy.
Are we picking up
So,
right where we left off?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, I realized that I asked that, and then we can't because we have to skip ahead a little bit.
Okay.
But I think I guess where we can pick up is if the game corner, like, okay, I guess where we can pick up is Julian is going to open the door of the game corner and walk in and see if there's like a security, if the door guy is there or what.
It seems weirdly empty. Like there are a couple folks on the pachinko machines, and there is a guy behind the prize counter. But that looks to be it.
Interesting. Okay. Then Julian, I think, is just going to stand in the doorway and is going to say, all right, loudly, he's going to say, I'm back. Let's talk terms.
Guy behind the prize counter clocks you, narrows his eyes at you, and kind of gestures with his head towards the back room.
Julian just crosses his arms over his chest and says, let's stop pretending. I know you can hear me.
A little bit of time passes, and a door opens, and your sister strides out across the carpeted floor towards you.
I'd like to add that while Julian is doing...
Is this your...
I'm sorry. While Julian is doing his very natural tough guy stance, Billy is doing his best impersonation of a Billy tough guy stance next to him. Like, aggressively tough out.
Big boy stance.
Yeah,
big boy stance. Oh no!
Like slightly up, like his heels are slightly lifted because he's just trying to stand a little taller. Shoulders very like
trying to be a little taller. Yeah.
And so is his Pokemon who are always out with him. So Shiloh is also very like stern in the back, and Ling Ling and all of them.
Julian walks out and looks a little surprised to see Billy there, but then sort of clocks Julian and says, "So, is this just like your guys' whole thing now, delivering ultimatums?"
You know, Julie, some ultimatums are better than some offers. You should know all about value. All depends on how valuable it is. Now, I know how valuable this is to you. And he kind of nods his head towards Billy. So let's talk terms.
I'm listening.
I'm going to assume you haven't had a change of heart about what we talked about last time I was here.
She just stares at you.
Julian shakes his head and laughs, but there's no humor in it. Yeah, that's what I thought. So he'll do it. But we have some conditions. First of all, it's you. You want to put on a show for everybody? It's you versus the Esper Bay gym leader. That's your show.
She looks at you and looks at Billy and kind of smiles and just says, "All right. If that's the way you want it."
Second of all, it's a regulation gym battle. League rules. You can do it in the cage. I don't care.
All right. Sure. You'll have to give me a refresher. It's been a minute since I've used training wheels.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. It's like riding a bike.
So many bike metaphors. Is this about the billion yen?
They're so expensive. How can the
They're
economy
so
survive?
expensive.
I know.
This economy, a bike? What?
That bike salesman is like Elon Musk in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah, true.
Can we talk about how much your truck must have cost then?
No, don't think about that. Ironically, trucks super cheap in the Pokemon universe. It's just bikes.
It's just bikes. There's a weird bike. Yeah, honestly, I think it's just that region, and or he had like a racket on the bike situation in that town.
Clearly, he invented them and
yes, yeah.
patented it immediately.
Patent pending.
So, all right, you do it here. You fight me, and it's your, but it's under league rules. Anything else?
Yeah. And he like looks at Billy.
If I win, no more games corner, or at least no more underground fights. We have a gym, we have an arena. Fights can happen out in the open, where Pokemon are safe and taken care of. You want to still run slot machines, whatever else you supposedly do here, that's fine. But no more Pokemon get hurt.
Okay. And what if I win?
Oh, the money you're going to make off of this isn't enough?
You know, honestly, fair point.
I wasn't expecting that, but I will take it.
That is sus. I'm not there, but sus.
I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I was thinking this would be a publicity boost either way, but I mean, I figure our numbers are going to go through the roof after I wipe the floor with you.
Yeah, we'll see.
You're going to have to give me a couple days to set it up. As you can see, I sent most folks home for the day. Wasn't really sure what you were going to do, kind of state of mind you left in.
We are on a very tight schedule. So it's tonight or we walk.
Tonight. Oh, all right. Again with the ultimatums. You know what? Fine. We'll do it your way. Tonight. Don't miss it. Now, if you don't mind me, I am going to go make some calls to get this whole thing set up. I'd suggest that you two spend that time training.
Julie?
Yeah?
You break the rules. You do anything other than exactly what we talked about here. And I'll make good on the last ultimatum. Is that clear?
Crystal. I'll see you tonight.
Julian turns and walks out of the game corner.
Billy also turns and walks out of the game corner.
I was wondering if you were going to do like, it was really nice seeing you again.
I think he just like he's still trying to act tough. So like you walk and there's like that brief delay where it's like oh we're leaving now. Oh, then kind of like nods like fake aggressively in her direction, and then like just kind of storms out very like swagger in arm.
When they get outside, I think Julian like releases a breath that he's been holding and says, "All right, look, she's not wrong. I'm going to tell you everything I know, and we're going to have to pray that it is enough."
happy to listen, and I think we'll be able to do it.
You, Billy. I didn't mean the things that I said earlier.
Yeah, I know.
And you have come a long way since the first time I saw you battle somebody at the gym.
I had a lot of help. Kind of nods at you and your Pokemon.
All right.
So are you gonna tell Estelle what you guys decided to do?
I mean, no. I'm not going to tell Estelle. She has eyes and ears everywhere. She's very much the Varus. Is that the
Varus? Yeah.
the Varus?
Yeah.
She's very much the Varus of the missing numbers world.
Mm-hmm.
So she may find out regardless. But no, Julian is just going to use as much time as possible to try to get Billy up to speed.
Okay, so in that case, so I am very much in favor of you guys doing a little training montage here, but also I think before we go into you're describing that, you're going to get started with it, and I think Estelle is going to get a call from one of her sisters. Estelle, are you? I'm just wondering. I thought you should know that those two boys you've been running around with, that Julian and that Billy Baker that's been doing such a good job with the gym. They're the downtown in the old park, the old basketball court, and well, it looks like they're training up something fierce. Looks like they're getting ready for a fight.
Oh, yes, there's a little matter with that. You know that game corner, it's sort of in that seedy area. Well,
there is a great deal of broken glass there. I am a little bit concerned.
it is alarming, really, how much broken glass.
That and just like the rusty razor wire. I'm not even sure how that got there.
I don't know. It's really that, and I mean, I've never really cared for the sound of pachinko machines. I don't know about you, but it's repetitive and a little bit it's in that hearing range that just makes your head ring like a bell. But yes, they they sort of threatened family. So I'm afraid there's some things we're going to have to deal with, but it's all right. I've got the others involved in it. But thank you so much for calling me. How have you been?
Oh, and then that proceeds to go on for approximately an hour. But yes, okay, yeah. So yeah, you're down in the old basketball court with the broken glass and the toxic waste and the.
Oh, I was saying the game corner was the seedy area. Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay. The poor basketball court with its toxic waste from Silphco's area. Yep.
And all right, so yeah, now that Estelle knows, what are you guys getting into for your training montage?
I'm gonna do secret stuff in the background. Don't even worry about me. It's fine.
Totally fine.
I'm not gonna chaos granny. It's fine. It's fine.
So I think they probably are in the park as well, but they are actually no, scratch that. They go to the cafe. They go to the
okay.
Or Coco Cafe.
Okay, cool. All right. No toxic waste basketball court. Got it.
Not yet. We'll get there.
Okay.
And Julian, I think, is they're in the kitchen. And and Julian, they're standing across from each other, and Julian has like various ingredients laid out on the counter and is using them to lay out a strategy. And obviously they are just like omelet ingredients, because we've established that is Julian's like go-to meal, go-to thing to cook when he is stressed. It calms him down. So he holds up a couple of eggs, and he says, "All right, look, Billy, this is let's imagine that this one is Julie, right?" And he holds up one of the eggs, and then he cracks it on the edge of a bowl and drops it in, and then holds up another one and says, "And this is one of Julie's Pokemon," cracks it, and another one, cracks it, and another one, cracks it, and drops it in. And he says, "Right now, just eggs." And then he is going to take a whisk and start, like, without moving, just like purely at the wrist, is just going to basically start whipping them into an omelet, and is going to say, "But you put it through enough and it becomes something else completely. The eggs, not a meal, not complete. Omelet, that's a meal. You understand everything that she's been through. She has had to fight through, struggle through. But that is the thing about an omelet, is that the more you beat it, the harder you beat it, the more air gets in it, and the softer it comes out on the other side. There are, somewhere deep down, there is this softness. And I know because it's in me too. It's why I left everything behind. And I figure if anybody can get through to her and show her that part of herself, it's Billy Baker.
Well,
Somebody do the wholesome emoji.
I'll do my best. Though I don't have any flying types to add air, but I think I still get your.
Okay. All right, as long as you get it.
Cooking metaphors.
Yeah. You are.
Thank you, no fame.
You're going to take a beating. Everybody is going to take a beating. But she is going to underestimate you. And she's going to think that it's going to be over quick. If I had to guess, she's going to come at you with everything she has from the beginning and try to make it as embarrassing as possible. She's not going to be trying to win. She's going to be trying to crush you. All you have to do is hold out.
Yeah. Well, I think she might underestimate just how much me and my Pokemon are willing to hold on, and the strength of that partnership.
Good. Hold on to that.
And who knows? I might have a surprise or two up my sleeve she's not expecting either.
Okay. All right. I think that is it. I think that is the training, more or less.
Okay.
Before the match, Billy wants to run home to get, and we haven't talked about this, Brendan, so feel free to pivot. But I was thinking he would like to pick up a present from his father from a long time ago that his father found in a cave soon after Billy first got Shiloh. Maybe a stone that he's been holding on to for a long time.
A stone, maybe, yes, of an awakening kind of variety.
Yeah, of a very morning-y type of stone.
Something, yeah. A morning-y, perhaps, stone, yes. Yeah. Something akin to that first light, you know, the way the light hits it, you know, really reminds you of that early morning. It's a dawn stone, just for the audience. It's the dawn stone that we're talking about. Yes, I just wanted to make absolutely clear that was in fact what we were talking about for the folks at home. All right, so I guess where are you guys reconvening prior to this all going down?
I mean, I'm assuming Julie has some way to get word to me. Sounds like it's not going to be at the game corner.
No, you get a call from Julie later that it is going to be at the game corner, and she gives you a time.
Okay. Then we're going to show up at the appointed time.
I got some.
And Brunoise is out with me. Brunoise is out of his Pokeball in case we have to do a spicy rhythm. And that is it, I think. We walk in. I imagine it's fairly deserted.
The upper portion of the game corner is pretty deserted, but you know how to get into the lower levels. And
not lead us down.
Yeah. And you even over the machinery of the freight elevator that takes you down, you can already hear the dull roar of a crowd that has gathered. And sure enough, stepping out into the concrete halls beneath the game corner, there is almost a vibration from the number of spectators that have gathered for this. Approaching the arena, you see your sister standing off to one side.
Don't let it psych you out, Billy.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Oh, our counter didn't go up for donation.
Oh,
you
that's
guys
right.
You guys should have 2, and then I don't know if mine.
2 we have. Pokemon.
Yes, indeed.
So, do you want to do my stuff now or after?
So, what is the stuff that you wanted to do?
Well, Julian's sister did threaten my family. So, Estelle doesn't take kindly to her boys being threatened. The stuff I want to do is like a lot of contacts stuff. So if you want to do it after, we can do it after, or we can do it now and just like wait for it. But I'm fine to do it after. I think that might actually.
Let's do it. Let's do it after.
Okay, cool. Maybe Billy will talk her around, and we won't need any of that. Who knows?
Mm.
Who knows? We don't know. A lot of pressure, Billy. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Fight a Pokemon battle, save somebody's soul, end all world evil, save the world, save the gym. Is there anything else we forgot to put on your plate?
I think saving the world I'm safe on, because we can just take the balls after Julian blows up the place, so I just have to accomplish everything else. We can table saving the world.
All right.
Not too late for terrorism.
Not too late for terrorism.
Yep.
Just keep that one in our pocket.
Ain't that the thing?
Every so often, I'm like, maybe we should name our episodes.
It's not too late for terrorism. AKA the gym fight at the cage match, or Billy in a cage. I don't know.
I feel like Pokemon episodes had like 2 names, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. It was always like, never mind. I don't know why this is the example that I was thinking of, but like, it was always like Panic at the Disco, Butterfree flies free.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Here comes Billy with the chair.
Oh my gosh.
The chair is a Rotom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you approach Billy, and you approach your sister, and she regards you guys like, "Oh, I'm almost surprised you actually showed up."
I mean, really? I mean, we proposed the whole thing. That would be kind of an odd choice if we didn't, right?
Right?
I'm just saying, I have gotten used to my brother trying to screw me over lately.
Well, no reason for us not to show up. I mean, everything's all above board here, by the book, by the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So nothing for us to worry about.
Not at all. It took me a bit of doing to get the tickets moved for tonight. We got a pretty full house tonight. Not quite as many as I was hoping for a match like this, but it'll do. It'll do. Try to make sure you put on a good show, kid. Don't go down too quick.
Oh, yeah. I'll do my best. You battled recently, right? I mean, I run a gym, but you've used your Pokemon recently, I assume.
I won't lie. I'm a little rusty. Oh, thank you so much for the donation, Estelle. Oh, okay, Estelle's putting your finger on the odds here on the scale.
We haven't discussed that Estelle knows. They don't know, but just you can feel her support from a distance.
Pumping up the luck counter here.
It gives you, yeah, She made a quick money transfer towards or a spiritual, psychic connection of I believe in you.
Here comes the Estelle.
Here comes the Estelle with the cheer.
God only knows what the conversion rate is on Poke-Yen to dollars. $20
right.
feels like a lot of Poke-Yen.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, this redirected the money transfer from earlier.
She did towards a better cause. In my brain, that is.
Oh, did we lose Heather?
We might have.
Oh no.
She'll be back.
Oh
She'll
yeah.
be back.
Well, so well, that was interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Julianne looks at Billy and says, "You know, I won't lie, I'm a little bit rusty. But you know, looking forward to using this match to limber up a little."
Good. Good. Well, let's have a fun time.
And she gestures you over to the one end of the cage, the blue corner. She goes and sets up in the red corner.
Before she goes, maybe while Billy is like moving to his corner, Julian is gonna like step up next to her and say, "Been a long time since I was down here."
You were just down here like 3 weeks ago.
It's pretty empty then.
Yeah, you know, it's a little fuller tonight than it was for your match with Bryce.
You know, when we were young and how much I hated coming down here, how much I hated the matches. It wasn't because I knew. Sorry, it wasn't because of what they were going to make me do. It wasn't because of the violence or the blood or any of that. It was because up until we were about 14, every time they would pull me down here, you would cry.
Yeah, I remember. But I also think that over the years you've convinced yourself that you were always coerced. I think over the years you've convinced yourself that you never felt even a little bit of bloodlust. You never felt that desire to win. You never had any kind of ambition. I remember things a little differently.
That's where you're wrong. Because I did. I enjoyed it. I was good at it. And on some level,
sorry.
it was the only power I had. So that's what I'm talking about. That's not why I hated it. I know that that is a part of me still. I've seen it recently. That is the difference between the two of us, Julie. It's not that I walked away and you stayed. It's that we, like it or not, we both have this darkness inside of us. But I know it's wrong. And on that, Julian is going to walk away and leave her to go to her side of the battlefield. Do you want me to roll heart to like rattle her or something?
Yeah, sure, go for it. I'm going to say in part, especially because it looks like she has a retort. It looks like she has something she wants to say in reply, and she is frustrated that you are walking away because she doesn't want to have to shout it after you. So yeah, go ahead and roll heart.
Okay. I got a 4.
All right, in that case, I'm going to say, yeah, no, you have, he does shout it after you, and that actually indicates to you that you did get under her skin.
I'm in your head.
Yeah. I'm living rent free up here.
I was gonna say, nothing makes me angrier than when people like shame others for like their trauma responses and what power they can find in a powerless situation. So I was just sitting here like, you better smack her down, Billy.
You don't. You've always been trying to protect me from Team Rocket. Now you're trying to protect me from myself. I don't need you to protect me, Julian. And I want you to think about something over these next few minutes. That everything I know, I learned from you. And she'll go to her corner.
Brendan, be honest. Did you like read the toxic things your narcissistic family members will say, like before we started the game? Did you just like
is that
primer?
Is that an article that exists?
This is your fault. It's basically like all of the notes you're hitting of like, I'm going to blame you for your reaction to our trauma, and I don't need you, and I'm blaming. It's also your fault somehow. Like you're like, I learned this from you, so my behavior is your fault, and like you're hitting all the high notes on it.
I just called that my grandma's funeral.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Wow. Take a step back and to pretend. Pokemon.
Right.
Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
In direct contrast to what Julian just did to try to rattle Julie, he's going to stop next to the cage that presumably Billy is in now, and is going to, assuming that Billy heard that, he's going to like lean against it for a second and say, that's good news for us.
What is?
Billy, if she learned everything she knows from watching me, you're fine, because you're better than me now.
Well, I don't know about that. We still have to have a match to decide that one, but thank you anyway.
Hey, do I look worried? And Julian's going to step to the side and let this proceed.
All right. And the lights come up on the stark concrete arena. You can tell it looks like most of the hazards have been removed, or they have been retracted into the bays where they would normally sit waiting. And you hear that fucking announcer come up over the intercom. And we have a very special treat for you tonight, folks. We have Esperbay's own gym leader, Billy Baker. Yeah. it is a little bit surreal because, Billy, you have definitely never had a crowd this big at any of your gym matches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Billy is trying to be very enthusiastic, but there's definitely like a little nerves, but then like also Ling Ling is just cheering along with the crowd in like excitement at the noise, and that kind of like shakes him out of it a little.
And on the other side of the arena, coming out of retirement, the Game Corner's own Julianne Rue. And the lights come up on Julianne, just sort of kind of dusting off the shoulder pads on her suit. Yeah.
Sounds like we got a battle on our hands.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's not there.
Well, what? How did that get there?
How did that get there? Never seen that before in my life, officer.
And and here comes Porygon C with the chair.
Rip it, baby.
Hey,
Slop
thank
that
you,
down,
Josh,
dude.
and you for the
Dude,
donation.
crap
Yes,
one.
thank you.
I'm going to
Use
need
all
all
the
of
luck.
these, so thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I know. I like how the people who watch are like, you're gonna need this. We've seen the way you all roll. Yeah. Don't forget, you can give inspiration with your channel points too. You're gonna need it.
All right, as we get ready to presumably Nephilim this fight.
It'll be fine.
All right, so in that case, Billy, who you sending out?
Aster.
All right. You send out Aster into the ring, and they sort of scuff at the concrete with their hooves, kind of awkwardly. It's not, they prefer open fields to this very rough asphalt, underneath their hooves. And Julianne sort of looks bemused and pulls out one of her own Pokeballs and sends out a very spiny looking Cacturn.
Give me a second. Clearly, our plans have taken a turn.
Yes,
Was anticipated originally for this evening.
we are doing a
done.
smidgen of improvising.
Just a tiny bit. Hey, look at that movie magic.
Wee!
Yay!
So lifelike. All right, so I guess we roll off for first round.
I'm not there, but rip her face off, Billy.
I am there and rip her face off, Billy.
All right, so we got the same.
Digimon. How dare! How dare!
One day.
All right, so we rolled the same. So her tactics dice. Actually, no, we didn't roll the same because she is taking a penalty from the fact that Julian got under her skin. She's actually taking a -1 penalty. So in that case, Billy, you won the roll off.
Somehow. I'm a little terrified that she rolls a d12 for tactics. Billy has not recognized the absence of skill.
That's all she
Marshall's
got.
a little terrified. All right, Master. Well, let's get this thing started. Let's shake it up a little bit. Break up this ground a little bit. Let's go with the bulldoze. Yeah. It's gonna do that. Just 2d6. Which is a 4.
A 4. Okay, actually, I need to double check a move real quick.
That is technically slamming the ground, not running directly into. I don't know if this thing has any sort of sticky nonsense, but it is a cactus, so I would just like to throw that out there.
That's great. It's cool. Yes, that is actually very relevant in this case. Yes. So using bulldoze, so it does not make contact, and that is a 4. And yeah, so let me go ahead and roll for that. As I find
Roll.
how that works, the priority. I need to make a roll. All of those. Yes. Okay.
Don't like that.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. But in this case, because bulldoze does not make contact, it doesn't actually do anything. As you go and you hit the ground, and there is this wave of earth that crests over towards Cacturn. The Cacturn puts up both of its arms, and these two spiky shields form in front of it that absorbs the attack. The wave crests against it, earth falling down in clods to either side of it, unable to penetrate this phalanx that it has created. But because it didn't make contact, Asher takes no damage.
Okay. Doesn't look good.
And that was it. That was its move. So since the spiky shield works, it works like a protect move.
Okay, that is much nicer. I was like, I thought I just got to do that for free. I was like, oh, that's terrifying.
Yes, no. It's not like it gets to do that and then also it gets to make a move. No. It functions. It works like a protect move. That is its move for the round.
Okay, cool.
So we roll off for the next round. Need to remember to add that.
There's one thing you can count on.
All right, so going first.
It's fine. Just give it a second.
Yep. Oh. Yep, there we go. And yes, the Cacturn instead sort of pulls away its spiky phalanx and reaches out with its limbs to fire out a number of barbs from its sort of green flesh that pierce into Aster. And it looks as though, from your vantage point, that those barbs are coated in some kind of venom. Though it did not crit, so it does not poison Aster. It is just one damage.
Okay. All right, Aster. It looks like it hurt, so let's see if we can't get a little bit of that back. Why don't you go ahead and do a Horn Leech? And it's going to try and hit it with that. Oh, my rolls. That's the 5, though.
Okay, yep. That does. Yeah, you do have the luck. So it does do a damage, but it doesn't get the health back. So you could try and reroll. You could try and get a crit if you wanted to.
So actually, one thing that just occurred to me, it's a grass type, isn't it?
It is a grass type.
I will probably try and re-roll because that actually should have a -2 applied because of type resistance.
Does grass resist grass?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It does. So I think I will spend one of those luck and try and re-roll the D8 and the D6.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, grass resist grass. Okay, cool.
So that's still not a crit, but that is an 8 -2, a 6. So
okay, cool. So still does hit for 1 damage.
Yeah, that's why I was disappointed when you sent out a grass dark type. So I'm like, oh, cool. I have a bunch of grass and psychic moves. This will be great.
Did not actually realize that grass resists grass. Weird, interesting choice. All right, cool. How does that look?
I think it is just like a charge forward and just like a leaping slam. But before it can start to like pull energy, the like spikes from the capture and kind of like start to poke in, and it has to like almost hop back away, where it might like kind of normally kind of lean into the slam a little bit to draw that energy in.
Yeah. All right. So in that case, roll off for
slightly better. Hey.
Hey, yeah, you won. You succeeded in the roll off.
You know what, Aster? That seemed to work. Just be careful of those spikes, but give it a shot again. We're going to try and run back the Horn Leech. Okay. 8 -2 is still a 6.
Yep. Okay. And so, okay, so that gets 4, 1 wound. And then I do have to make sure that I apply that.
We also should be down to 3 because I did use one of the thingies.
Make sure that I have that right. Oh, nope. That not work? Okay. Roll. 1d12.
I didn't by any chance scope how many Pokeballs she carried into this arena, did I?
You saw 3.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like it should be a 3-on-3 match. Though not recognizing my command. So okay, I will just add the penalty to the final roll. Since I'm apparently trying to stack too many weird modifiers on Roll20. What am I doing wrong? It's /roll, right?
Roll, and then like your dice, and then if you want to do modifiers, it'd be like plus or minus.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, it keeps giving me the message unrecognized command. I don't know what is up with that. I'm just gonna do the click clacks.
Do the thing.
That's fine.
You can also just refresh the page. It might be a.
That is also possible.
Doop, doop, doop.
We could just do click clacks in general. I'm in a fight with Roll20 at the moment. I'm mad at it.
You're mad at it? Why? What did it do?
It uses too much CPU mostly.
That's fair.
That is a good question. Is there a space between the /roll and the die value?
It should have been, but let me try again. Let me see if reloading helped it. Let me see if that made it work. Okay, there we go. All right.
But that one doesn't count. That's a practice roll.
Just practice time rolls. Yes.
That was just to make sure that it worked.
That was just a practice time roll.
We force a re-roll with guidance.
If you want, I can re-roll it. I can if you want to spend a luck to make you re-roll it.
I mean, out of luck, but like
out of your mind, Jesus.
Fine, it's fine. I'm sure that's fine. It's all fine.
The Cacturn, in turn, sort of as Aster is sort of trying to use Horn Leech, the Cacturn actually sort of flexes out its spines, and Aster is unable to retract the vines from the Horn Leech, and it looks as though that struggle for energy is instead pulling back in the other direction as Cacturn uses Absorb.
Ooh.
So that is for 1 damage, and Cacturn heals 1 wound.
Don't like that at all.
And we go to next round. Even with a D12, I cannot roll initiative for shit. So
thankfully,
go for it.
I think, you know what, Aster, don't let him do that to you. Pull that energy right back. We're just gonna keep on with Horn Leech.
Just back and forth until someone gets
tug of war for energy. That is a 5. So no energy, but damage.
Okay, we do.
Undeweed.
So was what? Sorry, how much was Horn Leech?
What I roll? You mean?
Yeah. What'd you roll?
It was 7 minus 2, so 5.
So 5. Okay. Well, and I also rolled a 5. So in that case, what I'm gonna say is Cacturn uses Spike Shield again. Normally Horn Leech is a contact move, and so it would take damage upon it. But since we tied, instead of me getting greater, I'm gonna say it absorbs the damage from the attack, but Aster does not take damage from it. They are just locked in a grapple. With Aster's horns and vines and the spiked shields that the Cacturn has made out of its 2 forelimbs, just pushing on each other, trying to gain ground on one another.
All right, next round.
All right.
I don't like it. Not want.
No, I do not care for this.
Don't like it. How's Julian doing? Is Julian just like sweating? Is he like
no, Joe? I mean, not externally.
Like internally, you're like, oh gosh, and then externally, you're like,
yeah. He is staunchly unworried in his expression.
Gotta let Billy know you believe in him.
He's furiously making an omelet.
uh.
And once again, stop rolling dice.
Yeah, I think this might want to be one of those where we burn the point to neutralize an attack.
So in this case, so I rolled first because I was in the initiative order first, but Cacturn is continuing to use Spike Shield.
Okay.
So there is the question of, you do know that Cacturn was using Spike Shield last round, so it's a question of whether you feel like you would continue to have Aster try to use contact moves, or anticipating that, try to have Aster break away.
The entire chat is just trying to give you guidance.
So what I was legitimately thinking of doing prior to all of that, if Aster wasn't knocked out, was actually going for Synthesis to try and recover.
Okay,
that was my plan for this round.
Sure.
The normally Synthesis. So here's the kind of back and forth, because technically when we were using Shaken rules, it was you could get rid of Shaken, and if I crit in the sun, I could heal. But then obviously we don't have Shaken, so I think we kind of just used it as a soft, like, if it succeeds, you can heal one wound. Does that sound right?
Yeah, no, I think that sounds good. I mean, that's how I've been handling stuff like Recover and Roost. So basically, I because Synthesis is a healing move, a self heal. Yeah, so I mean, in that case, you can just treat it like reverse damage. Success is 1 wound, crits are multiple wounds.
Which I was actually reading the book again, and the success range is just a regular 4 for anything that doesn't do damage in battle, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right, cool. Making sure.
So yeah, Billy's gonna shout, Aster, I know this hurts, but you gotta hang in there. We gotta get off to a good start. I know you can do it. Just hang in there, bud. And I would like to use Heart instead of Tactics for this one.
Sure, sounds good.
Whee!
So still a D8 and a D6. Just flip which way that is. Oh, I was hoping for that to be higher, but that is still a 6. So that one.
All right, cool. Yep, and that is not any kind of move that hit Cacturn. So, yep. And at this point, you just kind of see Julienne grinning at you from the other side of the ring.
She won't be by the time I'm done with her.
All right, next round.
Ooh. I'm going to take what that implies, and so that's a total of 8, which is still not enough.
Damn. Well, what does the guidance do? Did we decide what guidance does? Does it add 1?
That is a great question.
I thought we were originally using it as luck points too, but I don't remember now.
Oh, I think weren't we
No, 'cause
doing
we
something?
wanted
Weren't we doing
donations.
something similar to D&D where you add additional D4 rolls?
We
Guidance
had
adds a
talked about that
D4.
at one point.
Okay,
I mean, I'm fine. Used that once in one session.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm fine with continuing to do that. We have like what two
Well, then Marshall
guidances?
has- yeah, I was going to say Marshall has 2 guidance.
2 guidance. You can use them on your. I would say you have those. You can use them on your initiative roll. You can use them on whatever roll you want.
I am going to use them on my combat roll this round, so I will save them because I'd have to basically roll both as a 4 to be able to get past you. So I will save it for a fight.
Cool. All right, and so
Stop it, Jesus.
Yeah, excuse you.
Okay. Only one of those D6s actually counts. Just don't ignore the total. Ignore the total for that roll. Only one of those D6s actually counts.
All right, I picked the 1 then. The 1 counts.
No, it's the highest one that counts. It is rolling 3 and taking the highest.
I like it. I need you to stop.
And that is the Cacturn. In turn, once again, eyeing up Aster. And loosing out with another spray of needles, though these are different from the ones from before. These aren't these venomous barbs. These almost have the appearance of insectoid stingers. As Cacturn uses pin missile. And that is going to be a crit for 2 damage.
Okay, so remind me, because it's been a minute. So it shows 1, 2, 3 wounds and then fainted. So can you take 4 or can you take 3 total before you faint?
I feel like it's 4, and then after that you're fainted, right?
I think it's 3.
Yeah, it's 3. So you have 3 wounds, and then the next one that you take is fainted.
Yeah, that's the 4th one is the fainting.
Yes, the 4th is the faint.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. All right, so take 2. Because the reason why I asked is because when you click the 3rd one, it turns fainted red. So I was like, but I also...
Well, if nothing else, I feel like even if the rules say something slightly different, I feel like we've been running it as 3 and then faint.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Works for me. Because that means I'm still standing.
Because it wouldn't make sense to give you a penalty if you were out at 3. It would just be, you're done at 3.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, Aster looks to be in rough shape. Billy's... Aster, I know that one hurt, but he's hurting too. You got to just keep pushing through. Try hitting him one more time with your horns. You're gonna try for a horn leech, and we may add a bunch of d4s to that. Oh God. Oh, really?
Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay. Do you want to use a luck and then some guidance?
Yes.
Yeah. Good God, that's awful. Yes, I'm going to spend another luck point. I really didn't want to, but good grief. Much better.
Hell yeah.
So that's
cool if either of those was one higher, but still not bad.
And you'd have to get to a 20 to crit again, right?
I believe yes. Yeah, that's how we've been doing double crits is getting all the way to 20.
Okay, then I'm going to save the guidance and just take the singular crit. So that is a hit for 1 and a heal for 1.
All right.
Actually, well, can you choose?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you would prefer to not heal and just do extra damage, that's also fine.
How's this thing look?
So how it looks depends greatly on whether you choose to go with 1 or 2 damage.
Yeah, I guess I meant prior to the 1 or 2.
Prior to the 1 or 2, it was scuffed up, but it was still pretty spry.
Okay. I think we'll go with the heal 1 and do 1 damage.
Heal 1, do 1? Okay, cool. Yeah, it is you're wearing it down, but it still has fight in it.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you not with those? Okay.
I would like you to stop.
I'm going to use at least one of the guidances here.
Okay, go for it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, go for it.
All right. And I think just because it's working, Aster's just going to lean its head back and slam its head in again and just keep trying to pound away at this thing since they're kind of just tangled up in each other at this point.
Okay.
And that is a 9, so I'm going to use the other guidance to push me over the... Ooh.
All right, cool. So
15.
that is a crit. Okay.
So, I think... again, I'm at this threshold. So I feel like I'm getting close to the knockout point, but also... No, I think actually Billy's gonna kind of hesitate as he's trying to think like as he's encouraging it. but then he's got to remember what Julian said about just like wearing it out, as she like is going to be aggressive and just have to stick in there. And yeah, we're just going to deal the 1 damage and heal back 1 again.
Okay.
Also, there's something to be said for Billy going into the fighting pit cage arena and insist on constantly healing his Pokemon back to full health.
Yep. Womp womp. Okay.
That's
Cool.
what you deserve.
Yep, fair enough. Legit, the dice had been very good to me so far. So, yeah, all right, yeah, you are pushing back on Cacturn, and it looks like Cacturn is once again trying to regain control of that struggle for energy and siphon that life force back into itself. But Aster digs in their hooves and gets traction and does not give an inch to the Cacturn. And so the Cacturn is sort of pulling and tugging. And you can even see it trying to physically drain like the energy back through Aster's vines, but Aster is not letting go of it.
All right.
All right.
What is happening?
You feel good about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You feel like a big man?
I'm gonna need you to start using real dice. No, okay. I don't like it.
And lying if you roll well.
I need you to not hurt Billy. It's very important to me. And
Yeah, Billy, I
don't
love
do
you.
it.
God, Jesus Christ.
Why?
What's something that feels illegal but isn't?
This. It's just what's happening.
As the Cacturn sort of rallies this reserve of strength as Julienne is grabbing onto the cage. It is like, you could do this. You could do it. You're stronger than him. You're stronger. You could do this. Show him. And the Cacturn yanks back on the vines, and Aster loses their balance, and you see the Cacturn rejuvenated as it absorbs some of that life force back from Aster in that struggle.
And I think Billy's gonna just look at Aster. Aster, they may be stronger, but we're tougher. Hit him back and take that energy right back. We're gonna Horn Leech again.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
That explodes.
That's good.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. -2 because of the grass. So not enough to heal, but another hit.
You also got like 12 guidance at this point.
Oh.
I'm not sure how many points were spent, but
At least 4.
Justin went back and forth for a while.
We were just like,
If I have some guidance, then I will use it to try and push that over 10.
If nothing else, I literally just gave you guidance because I feel like it's the least I can do.
It's literally the least you can do other than stop your rolling like that. Stop
I
it.
will go through and count up how many guidance you have.
7,
billion.
9, 13, 14, -2. So that is enough to crit.
Okay, so are you gonna take health back, or are you gonna do extra damage?
You know what? I think actually we're just gonna like. Now, I hate this tug of war, but like, I think it just makes sense. No, you know what? I think Go-Go Naster's just a little fed up, and he's going to slam them for 2.
Okay. And yeah, Aster launches the Cacturn up against the cage, actually forcing Julienne to kind of stagger back so that she is not struck by its pins that stick through the links of the fence. And when Aster sort of then like withdraws their vines and pulls back, the Cacturn is fated.
Yes. Also, you just spent 2 guidance on that last roll, right?
No, only 1 on that last one. Yeah, it
you have
exploded.
You have 9 guidance.
All right, nice.
Thank you, chat.
As Julienne then withdraws Cacturn to the Pokeball and then looses out her next Pokemon, Obstagoon.
Un momento. I have that one.
I like even numbers.
I feel like if Billy had seen her Pokemon choices before, he would have been more on Team Julian of like, no, she can't be redeemed. This is textbook.
Right? That's the badger looking thing, right?
Yeah,
yes, it's the badger, punk, muscle, thug.
I mean, again, with the Pokemon choices and the tactics rolls, it's like she's the leader of a criminal organization or something.
I mean, that's a strong stance to take given the majority of Pokemon games. Like, you say that like most of them are competent, and that is not the case at this point. Numbers are not in your favor.
All right. Yeah. Well, so guys, also I think this is the question. Since Obstagoon is going out, you have a choice. You can keep Aster in, or you can swap Aster out.
Aster's going to stay in.
Okay. All right. Let's roll off.
Use the stone, Billy. The stone.
Use the stone.
All right. One and one.
Is she still shaking?
Technically, yes, yeah. So it takes a -2. Technically, I guess that makes it a -1 initiative roll. So,
all right, Aster, that's 1 down. Keep it up. You know what? Take a moment and let's take a moment to recover, and we're going to use synthesis again.
There you go.
And I would like to buff that up.
Nice.
Never mind.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Explode again.
That's a 9. So I am going to use a guidance. Which is 13.
That explodes.
Yeah.
16.
You know what I love about D4s? There's a 1 in 4 chance.
That's true.
I am going to get greedy since I'm already a 16 and throw another guidance on there.
Yes.
Damn.
That is 23.
Full health.
All right. Well, that is a double crit.
What I would like to do, if you're okay with it, is spend 2 of those recovering, but that'll take me back to full. What I'd like to use the other crit for is to change the environment a little.
Okay.
Since I'm kind of using this like natural energy, what I'd like is for grass to start growing up through like the cracked ground from the bulldoze earlier. So that this qualifies as grassy terrain, which would trigger Aster's grass pelt, which gives it just an extra toughness while it's fighting in grassy terrain.
Sick, do it. Yeah, no, like and the crack. Oh, there's even before the bulldoze, there's a bunch of just cracks and rivets in this concrete all over, and they're all just sprouting up with this fresh lawn of grass, and there's even like these like little twists of ivy that are winding their way up the chain link fence to either side, and there's even a bit of a kind of an audible kind of from the crowd.
For a brief moment, this place of darkness and doom smells like fresh growing things.
Right. There is this odd moment of serenity mid battle that has occurred that your GM is going to use to briefly run to the bathroom and come right back.
Do we want to do a 5-minute break?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
We're going late, so we might as well.
Yeah,
Be right back.
And we are back, however briefly, as I think we are going to go and end the stream around that point, as there's this kind of gasp from the crowd, this intake of breath, as everyone kind of both from the shock of Aster's altering of the battlefield and the fundamental changing of the calculus involved in that, as well as just like a legitimate intake of breath, that just this kind of fresh air that is penetrating this deep and dank place in the earth that has for so long smelled of nothing but engine grease and sorrow. Even Julienne looks to be taken a bit aback, realizing for a moment that she may have underestimated you. But that moment of doubt and uncertainty is replaced by a resoluteness as she shifts her stance, no longer in this sort of kind of leaned back, arrogant detachment, but instead leaning forward, rolling her shoulders, and adopting herself a fighting stance, a stance that is mirrored in the ring by her Obstagoon. And that is where we are going to leave off for this session. All right. This was a fairly intense. This was a fairly intense session all around. Lots.
What a note
Yeah.
to come back on.
Yeah, lots of feels, lots of emotional damage, lots of wholesome, punctuated by a brutal first round of that fight. And yeah, wow, I'm excited to see where we're going to go with this. Yeah, when we come back. So thank you so much to everybody who joined us tonight. If you watched, if you donated, if you chatted, followed, subscribed, whatever, it really does mean the world to us. We love having you guys in the stream. Oh, Will, you're going to say something?
I was just going to say, very cool thing. This happened technically right before we went live, but we did get a couple other people following during the stream, but we crossed 300 followers.
Whoa! Oh, that is excellent.
Yes.
That is well. Hey, I
Thanks
am
for the follows.
Yeah, thanks for the follows,
so
guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this this wild return session for missing numbers. Everything that we do on this channel benefits a really great cause, and we would not, in any respect, be able to make any of that happen without you. So, thank you so much. We will be back. Is there a Wildcard Wednesday tomorrow?
There is. It is the final Maple League.
All right, more Pokemon.
More Pokemon.
If you cannot get enough of this hot Pokemon action, there is more hot syrupy Pokemon action coming at you tomorrow. So if you would like to know when we are going live and what we are up to, you can follow us on Twitter at Live from the APOC. It is up there on the screen, little icon for the Cursed Bird app. Or you can also join our Discord community, which is full of a lot of awesome and friendly people. Generally just a great place, though I might be biased. We do community nights on stream there as well. Off stream, I should say, on there as well, where we play games together off stream and watch bad movies. It is really just a nice group of folks overall. So if you would like to get to know us better, we would love to have you. And I think at long last, I normally say that's enough talking from me, but honestly, for the first whole half of the first solid 50% of this session, I was master of nothing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No,
You just sat back and watched us, like, do Pokemon therapy.
Right?
Destroy ourselves? Yes.
My work,
It's family therapy night.
my work. You know, and it is so satisfying when I just kind of help, when I can just kind of help set up those dominoes, and then the dominoes just kind of all fall. It's really great. I have a great cast. I have a great cast. You guys spoil me. So thank all of you guys out there in Streamland again so much. We're going to be disappearing in just a second, but don't go away because we are going to go ahead and raid one of the many other great TTRPG creators here on Twitch. So
thanks for the guidance.
Yes, thank you for the guidance. Those guidances will carry over to next session. This was not, in fact, an elaborate ploy for me to erase those guidances. So please be friendly, say hi, and tell them that Live from the Apocalypse sent you.
Yep. We're going to hop over and say hi to our friend Amber, the Space Jamber. They are streaming TTRPG Study Hall. So they're probably going to be wrapping up soon, but we'll hop over there. We'll say hi. There are 2 raid messages in the chat. If you are subscribed, you can feel free to copy paste the first one. If you are not subscribed, feel free to copy paste the second one. And yeah, we're like Brendan said, we are about to disappear. Don't go away. Hop over with us and say hi to Amber. And on that note, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.